Well, we are having a party here because we are using die cuts to embellish all sorts of really cute projects. And Kazan Clark is here to show us how to do all that. So where are we starting?
We're going to start off right with these gorgeous little
Straw toppers.
Straw toppers, exactly. And they are so simple to make, but a really fun way to dress up any little party scene where you're using straws. So I'm going to start off by stamping my sentiment on a regular piece of white cardstock, like this.
Are you using any kind of special ink, or it doesn't matter?
Any ink is fine for this project. This particular ink is a mixture between a pigment and a dye-based ink, which is really nice because it keeps those colors super vibrant. And that stamping edge is really crisp as well.
Nice, and it kind of matches what you're wearing.
I love blue, can you tell? So the reason why I stamped my project first is because the die templates that we have the hole in the middle, so you can position it exactly where you need it to stamp out your project.
So here's something that's really interesting. This is a little bit larger, I noticed, the stamp sentiment, than this. What are you going to do about that?
I can do one of two things. I can position my stamp like that, and then I can cut this one out and relayer it, so I've got two smaller little clouds overlapping each other.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So what we need to do is put the cut side of the die template so that it's on our paper like that. And that cut side is that thin little ridge, that little raised ridge like that. I'm going to go ahead and just position it just over there. This is a perfect example where we can move this around to see exactly where we need to cut this out.
Cool.
And then to prevent it from moving, just some repositional tape.
Tape to the rescue. I use tape all the time, and actually I have to admit, I often even use my washi tape because I can't find my regular tape.
Actually, any tape will work as long as you don't want to ruin the image, so then you just stick it to the side like I've done over here, or I've cheated before as well. If I don't have the removable tape, take some like this, rub it on your sleeve.
Your linty clothes to the rescue.
Takes that stickiness right away, so it works perfectly. So in a pinch, certainly that can work as well. And washi tape will work perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this on my base plate like this. And I'm also going to, because of this large cutting surface, cut out several different pieces as well.
Okay, I'll move this out of the way for you, and if you need it back, just tell me.
This tag is absolutely gorgeous because we can cut out the tag shape just like this. Or I love this little insert because it gives me these little lines, which it's going to cut out.
So wait a second, let me just understand this. This actually is not going to cut on this edge because it doesn't have that raised edge.
That's right, okay.
Wow, that's so cool.
It's an aha moment,
That
I
is
know.
such an aha moment.
Because now we can use this two different ways. So we can just use this like that, but if we'd like to feed our straw through, or a pen, if we were doing a teacher
so that's
favor.
why you need those slits. So the way to tell what part of it is going to cut is by seeing what's raised.
Correct. Run your finger wrong there.
And it's not going to cut me, right?
No.
Okay. Oh.
So that little edge, that thin little raised edge like that, that's your cutting edge.
Wow.
And it sometimes is deceiving because no, that part is not going to cut out.
Interesting. Okay, so that's how you layer them together. And I can see also in your flower that this little bit in the center also has like sort of is loose in there. So you're telling me that's not going to cut either because it's not raised.
This part is just going to emboss and the solid cut line all along the edge.
I love that.
And guess what I'm doing? I'm turning this little flower into a sun.
Oh,
Isn't
that's
it gonna
so
be
smart.
cute?
I never thought of that. So you can look at the image, of course, any die cut, and you can decide what it's going to be.
Why not? I think it makes a perfect sun or a
Exactly.
flower. So what we can do now is just go ahead and put our different cardstock pieces on top of our die cuts.
Of course, you're not taping these ones because it's less important that you need it exactly in the right spot the way that the sentiment needed to be.
If you want to, go ahead and tape everything because when you're moving this around, the dies are kind of slippery.
Okay.
So I just took that piece and then secured them like that, and we're ready to go.
Make our sandwich. I bet you need this white
I was
plate.
looking
That's what you were
for
looking
it.
around
I
for.
was.
I stole it. I'm sorry.
So I'm going to go ahead and just put my cutting plate down and run this through my machine.
There you go. And one of the things that I was thinking about is how you could use this idea of the straw topper for other things. And you were telling me teacher gifts, right?
I think it's a brilliant idea for teacher gifts. At the end of the year, when you've got a few teachers and you wanted to give them something fun, put a pencil through or a nice
That's
pen.
a great idea.
And maybe a little apple shape and say, thank you, teacher. Or I have 2 little girls and they're constantly doing Valentine party favors. So I thought maybe a little lollipop through and be my Valentine. Wouldn't that be fun?
Such a
when you're
nice
doing
idea.
it for 23 children, quick and easy. So I've gone ahead and cut these out.
And that center just embossed. It didn't cut. That's so cool.
I know, so I'm going to go ahead and hand this to you.
Thank you.
I already have some pieces cut out, what I'd like to show you. So this is the tag that we cut out, and you can clearly see here where those lines are that cut right through, so we can thread our straw through like.
Nice and easy.
I know, so pretty like that. And then all we have to do is just assemble our little tag. So there's our stamped little cloud image like that. And I like to pop dot my little sunflower.
I love using foam adhesive on things. It just creates that nice dimension.
There you go. Quick, easy, and so versatile, don't you think?
I know, but you are not done because you brought another cute idea of using your scrapbook paper to create little rosettes, right?
Those little rosettes I've used for cupcake toppers as well as on tags for my little party favors.
Okay, you're going to show us how to do that, and then we can eat cupcakes at the end, right?
Yes, we've been working hard to earn that reward. Once again, I've got a little rosette die over here. This image I need to cut out twice.
Okay, because you need 2 of them.
Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and place my wax paper right over my die template. This is such a great tip for crafters because it really allows my paper to come out my die template really quickly, and it's really cheap. I just get it at my general store. So pop that on like that, my paper, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that
Create
out.
your sandwich. You need this white
Yes,
mat. Let me just
please.
clear off the cuts that we made previously and give that over to you. Crafting with a friend is nice because they can always help
know,
you
and
with
you-
whatever it is you're looking for.
You are so good at helping me. I really appreciate
Well,
that.
thank you. No one ever has said I'm good at helping. I'm actually a terrible helper, but thank you.
So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, and I tape that paper down in wax paper just because sometimes the wax paper is a little slippery.
It makes it move around.
And then you don't have to worry about holding your sandwich too tight.
So when you choose your paper and you're thinking about it, do you use double-sided paper so you don't have to think about which is the right side? Are there any rules about that?
There's no rules. In fact, when I'm cutting out a shape and I don't like the other side, I often flip it over and go, what? This one turned out just as nice.
That's smart. Ooh,
So
and
there we
it
have
is.
our little...
Now it's interesting because you're gonna now peel that wax paper right off, and it comes off lickety-split without even thinking about it.
I just need to find a way to use this wax paper.
Oh my gosh, it looks like vellum actually. Now that you say that, that would be such a cool idea. Now I have a question, which is there's like a slit in there.
This slit is really important because we're going to just snip this little area just there like that. And then you see those little score lines? I'm going to go ahead and accordion fold my entire little rosette along those little score lines like that.
I love the versatility of that. You can score it or you could leave it just like it is. I mean, I think it's pretty just the way it is as a flower.
I know. I thought it looked like a flower too. So it is very... So once I've gone ahead and folded them like that...
And I have ones here for you that are already done just out of different pattern paper.
Correct. So, Julie, this one was my first rosette that I cut out. This one was my second. And that's why we have to cut them out twice, because we're simply going to then adhere the 2 to each other like that to form one big circle.
So awesome. And then you just put an embellishment of some kind right in the center.
That's right. And it finishes it off beautifully with a little stamp.
Okay, well, I would say we deserve a cupcake and maybe some bubbles.
Cheers
and
to
a
that.
straw, too. Thank you so much for all the great ideas for throwing a party with your scrapbook supplies.